It's obvious to me you want to see less negativity this season. Why do I say this? Because you all requested widely acclaimed shows like Wander Over Yonder and Star vs. the Forces of Evil, and while I'll save those for Disney Month 2016, a couple of you actually also wanted to see Gumball and We Bare Bears, so I suppose I'll knock out one of the episodes that you requested. So, We Bare Bears. Yeah, that's a show that exists. Look, I'm not gonna lie, it's not a bad show, by no means is it awful, but I can't say it's an amazing, timeless show that I'll look back 10 years from now and say it's still amazing. It is a show that immediately dates itself, and I don't know, that's kind of disappointing in that sense. I mean, don't get me wrong, the characters of We Bare Bears are really nice, well created, and even have stories that we see later in the future. And if you're watching me, you've probably seen Mr. Enter in his relatively recent review of Burrito, and to be fair, that was an episode I really wanted to review originally, but I would have just repeated a lot of what he said, so yeah, I'll be covering Chloe. Chloe is a character who befriends the bears during this very episode, and turns out to be pretty smart, very polite child who goes to college because she skipped a bunch of grades, I guess. So let us dive in and understand the story of Chloe. The episode starts with a person recording themselves breaking into the bear's house in a very Goldilockish scene when we see Panda and Grizz walk in to see the perp to then capture her and bring her elsewhere. We then see Chloe, our miniature brainiac for the episode, getting questioned by the bears about why she's there. She then answers by saying she's there to study the bears for her class. The bears start going through her stuff before agreeing to let her study them in exchange for honey wasabi gummies. We then get a montage of her around the bears as they do their daily routine. We've seen this in episodes like Everyday Bears, where they just do average things, which may sound boring, but these are actually very precious moments, especially in Chloe, as it's just like a little girl out with her teddy bears. It's just one of those moments where I can't help but smile. Anyway, she gets done with her presentation, but has to head out because she's running late. However, she forgets her laptop. Instead of hurrying to bring it to hers, the bears decide to look at the presentation, like one might look into a diary during these situations. And they dislike what they read in this presentation, so what they do instead is mess with the presentation before bringing it to Chloe. Though they do bring it to her the next day, and the presentation isn't at all like she wanted it to be, which sets her up for a failing grade. Grizz, Panda, and Ice Bear see this and decide to help, setting up an immediate Q&A for the students to attend. This episode is sweet enough to give me more cavities than Grizz. It probably stems from the fact that the bears really don't mean any harm and do make it up for the end for all the wrong that they do. And I guess not to mention the adorable montage that takes up about a sixth of this episode. Chloe is also a character that really does mean well. She's obviously an awkward one out of many of the social interactions she's in, as she just wants to have friends, though you see a lot more of that in the episode My Clique than you do here. I really do need to get caught up with We Bare Bears, actually. Despite what I said about it dating itself, it really is a cute show. But now that we have both crappy cartoons and animated angels started, I can talk about basically any episode that crosses my path. And boy oh boy, Family Guy has one big one to review. I'll see you guys next time. Thank you for watching this video. If you guys liked it, give it a thumbs up. If you guys want to see more, you can hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you next time.